I used to be very old school. In the 80s, my Walkman headphones were very wired, over the ear. Then I was offered a chance to look these over. I don't do AirPods. I would always be afraid of losing them. I've never used a set like these, and I was curious to see what all the fuss was about. When I unboxed, I was surprised by how heavy it is. But that's the case. That's heavy. The case is heavy because it contains a battery. It also feels kind of satisfying in the hand, but your experience may vary. The earbuds charge when they're in the case, and in a pinch with the proper adapter, you can charge your phone from it. Can hardly tell they're in there. I've tested in a few situations, and the audio is clear and the range is pretty good. I can hear my phone from across the house, across the office, and even in the backyard. When I get to a point where there's a lot of structures between me and the computer, Bluetooth starts to stutter a bit. It does get crackly where there's a lot of interference, like concrete or steel, but that's more of a Bluetooth issue than anything. Chances are you're not going to be too far away from your device anyway. It's not as obtrusive as AirPods, and I don't like looking like Ben Stiller preparing for a date. I did notice at first the sound was a little dim, and I could hear outside noise, and they tended to pop out unexpectedly. My biggest fear was dropping these in the toilet. That was with the default set of inserts. And it comes with a few sets of various sizes, and once I switched to the next size up, it was a whole new game. Outside noise was reduced dramatically, and the volume even became brighter. And they stopped popping out. I don't recommend doing that. Pairing them is a snap, and I have it paired to my phone, my laptop, and my desktop. Switching is a slight pain, but that's the way Bluetooth is handled by those devices. It's not a deal breaker. I wore these at work for a few days, and they lasted the entire 8 to 9 hour day. Recharging only took about 2 hours in the case, and that used about 15% of total battery capacity. I'm guessing you would get about 6 recharges before you have to recharge the case itself, which itself takes about 2 hours from 0 to 100. It beeps when the battery gets low, and sometimes one will die before the other, and that's a little weird when it happens. They are very convenient and comfortable. I actually forgot I was wearing them, which gets embarrassing when I realize I've been wearing them for a couple of hours before I remember to hit play. Don't act like you've never done that. I'm getting my wife's oil changed right now, and this is always boring because I gotta sit here for 2 or 3 hours just waiting for them to finish my oil. So I'm gonna keep myself entertained with the headphones, and I'm gonna be able to watch anything I want on my phone without disturbing anyone. I've used them in a few calls, even some web conference calls, and everyone can hear me just fine, despite the mic being way up here. Still, don't eat chips while on the phone, it gets a little loud. You control them by tapping them while they're in your ears. If your hair covers your ears, which mine sometimes does over the winter months, you have to sweep your hair back out of the way before you can tap. Same if you wear a hat that covers your ears. There's an interesting way to control them. You tap them while you wear them. I'm not sure how others would handle this, but when I tap any object that's sticking in my ear, it's pretty loud. It's like hitting a pot while wearing it on your head. Don't ask why that's my frame of reference. I did get used to it, but just be ready for that. The operation is pretty straightforward, and you kind of have to think of your head as the controller. The left side is back, down, your right is forward or up. Tap either one once to play or pause. Tap twice to replay or skip. You'll hold one to lower the volume, and you'll hold the other one to increase it. Double tap to answer calls, and double tap again to hang up.
Suit up. I'm bringing the party to you.
I think you have the wrong number. You can also hold down longer to shut them off, but they shut off automatically when back in the case. So I recommend just placing them back in the case if you're not actually wearing them, so they stay clean, they don't get lost, and they charge at the same time. When you do take them out, they turn on automatically, and the last paired device is available and it connects right away. Having the controls on the device themselves, the buttons are big, they're easy to reach, but it's also easy to tap by mistake if you're just adjusting them. Also, my fingers kind of have trouble pulling them out of the case sometimes, and if you have large fingers, you may have similar issues. It's not a deal breaker. I'm not even sure why I brought it up. All in all, I'm sold. I like these a lot. 5 Bs. It works very well, it's very comfortable, and once you select the correct ear inserts, they won't fall out of your head. And I like having a case that charges. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is the newbie, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles!